Greetings once again, everyone, and welcome back to Gnorp Apologue, where we have managed to get through 3 of the major milestones. We are 2 prestige points away from getting Zybellium Mastery and unlocking a couple of very interesting ones. But there was enough interest, especially in Discord, actually. I got a lot of people reaching out to me on Discord to say how much they've been enjoying the game and how much they have enjoyed playing the game, which has now consumed their life. Sorry, not sorry on that one. Nevertheless, in the last episode, we went ahead and we picked up Future to the Back and also Constellation Harmony. Both of these, I feel, are going to radically improve our ability to generate shards. Whether that's going to be enough to generate the actual collection of the shards, that is a different matter entirely. But now, something which we haven't been able to do before is I can just hold the mouse at the bottom and then just clean things up along the side. That doesn't seem like that big of an upgrade, but honestly, it's a massive quality of life upgrade that I very, very, very much appreciate having. Right, how much have we got in here? Let's go ahead and grab the House of Shards. Let's get the Express as well. We're going to continue helping out the the runners. Oh, I bought some capacity there, which I didn't need to do. We're going to go straight up to 10, and we're going to start pulling all of these along just to help out a little bit. There we go. Look at me, benevolent overlord. I'm not expecting my minions to do what I would not be willing to do myself, though the express point of me getting those minions is so that I can stop doing it myself. But I'm just proving that I was doing it before you were doing it. Therefore, you don't get to complain too much. I will, however, allow you to formally file your complaints with your union representative, and I will indeed show up to the table and negotiate in good faith, as all good employers should. Right, let's go ahead and get the rock analysis lab up and running, since we easily can afford it. There we go. Now, weak spot discovery is going to be a little while away. What we want to get to is having the ability to generate more shards a little bit earlier. There we go. Let's just help out over here where we can. The carriers, the runners, I keep wanting to call them carriers instead of runners, and I'm not sure why. I know what they are. Right, we want to go ahead. We've got a little bit more to get the Cocoa Cafe, but you can see how much faster it is now. Well, I guess you might not be able to see how much faster it is now, but when I was initially doing this, when I did this in, I think, the first episode, it took me an inordinate amount of time to gather enough shards to get both of those built in the optimum position. This took me basically no time at all. Right, we're going to go ahead and get the Slam Club. We're also going to turn on auto housing. Hello, Slammers. Let's get you out there smacking your faces up against that rock. Thank you very much. We'll give you 2 jumps as well. On that note, I'm also going to increase the capacity for our carriers. There we are. We are now in the position where we're going to start seeing our Slammers helping out a little bit. We want another 5 of them, though, if I'm honest. We want to try and get those up and running as quickly as we can. There we are. Now, someone did point out that some items have kind of a reverse synergy, and you are absolutely right. For example, the fact that the fire happens a lot faster right now, the super hot, means that bathing in fire isn't as useful because there's less of a window of opportunity for them. However, I would argue that is still a useful thing. You just need a lot more bombers to really have any chance of hitting it consistently. Should we go for another 5 slams, or should we just go straight for the Gnorp Propulsion Lab? Honestly, let's go for the Gnorp Propulsion Lab. We know we're going to want it, simply because once we've got this, we can get the slammers to start doing combos as well. Right, let's get those 2 out straight away. I would like to get them up to the point that we have 5 of them in the sky. I would also very much like to get weak spot discovery. But at this point, we're just waiting for more shards to be generated. I can help out, though, so let's, once again, just get involved. Start shifting these out there. We do want to get an archery range up and running as quickly as we can as well, simply because those fire arrows are stupendously amazing. So perhaps I should wait on that one first. Grab the archery range. That's going to take 4 Gnorps straight out. But thankfully, the houses right now are fairly cheap for us to get built, as you can see over there. With the archery range, it goes so far back in order to build it. It's kind of wild. But there we are. Let's continue to get all of this out there. We need 625, I think it was, for us to be able to get the first, the fire arches. And once we've got those, there we go. Oh, no, sorry, it was 650. But that's all we really need from there. We're now going to start generating enormous amounts of shards. Still, I would like to make sure that the Slam Club and the GPL get upgraded. Let's get a couple more bombers out there. There we are. There we go, and that's just fantastic. Gets delivered right outside the stash. Absolutely marvelous. Let's continue upgrading the capacity where we can. In terms of the next people that we want to get out there, well, honestly, the bombers are doing some of the better damage right now, despite our Slam Club. You could probably even skip the Slam Club if you really wanted to, but I feel that once you've got the combo chance up nice and high, the Slam Club really starts to stand out at that point. Let's also get weak spot discovery. Make sure the GPL are triggering those weak spots for us. You can go ahead and just be a little bit faster. That's fine. Is there anything else we want to do over here? Well, I mean, getting robotics up and running would allow us to get the Slam Club to get the drones, and the drones are going to be very cheap for us to get right now, so it's probably worth us doing. We are very, very far away from a compression event, so that's not going to be something that we need to worry about over much for now. Sure, we'll turn on the efficient drones for the time being. We need to get up to 10 of them in this cycle, but then we can unlock the drone effect. Now, I believe that means from that point onwards, that drone effect is in effect. Sorry, the way I worded that is possibly a little bit confusing. What I mean to say is that I can't activate this subclass until I've gotten at least 10 drones in this compression cycle. But once I've bought it and activated it, I believe it remains active, even if, for example, on the second compression cycle, I never purchased 10 drones. But I could be mistaken on that. If someone does happen to know, then do let me know down in the comments. And I do know for a fact that even if I have, for example, in compression cycle 1, bought 10 drones, if I then unlock a building which requires 10 drones to unlock a subclass, let's say I unlock that one in cycle 3, I would need to have bought 10 drones in cycle 3 to be able to unlock that subclass. It isn't applied retroactively. It doesn't care what I did in a previous cycle before I built the building. But once we've got the drones up and running, then we should be able to get the Slam Club really getting those jumps in. We've got 10 Gnorps at the moment, which is actually quite nice. Do we want to go for anything else in particular? We could definitely get a Mountaineer. You know what? Let's just get one Mountaineer for now. You can just be kind of a de facto king of the hill, just by virtue of the fact there are no other people trying to vie for the crown. In the meanwhile, we're going to increase the capacity over here just a little bit. That does put us behind on the drones just a wee bit. Do we want more bombers? I think we do. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab 5 more bombers, get them out there. I could go for ice arrows, but I'm not really feeling it just yet. What we really, really, really want to do is get up to gun V-Rock as soon as we possibly can. Right, there we go. We've got the drones, so the Slam Club can now do extra jumps, which is going to just massively increase the amount of damage we're outputting. And if we look up here, fire is doing the main body of damage. Do I want to go for more runners? We've easily got the Gnorps for it. That said, though, if we save up, we've got a couple of things that we can use the Gnorps on. Are there any in here? I don't think. Ultra Boost, I guess, is not a bad one. It's 5-time damage for bombers, and bombers are right up there along with the fire damage from our arrows right now. So it's not a bad one to get. It's just extremely expensive to grab this early on. So I think we might just wait on that one. How are you doing over there? You're doing all right. We could get a couple more drones, make sure that the next compression event has plenty of drones in there. But ultimately, no, we need to go for speed. That has to be the one we go for. Delivery Rush will be a wonderful one when we get there. Right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue upgrading capacity on the runners. I know I'm forestalling getting the gun Gnorps, but I want to get capacity at least up to 15, possibly 20. And I'm going to invest another 5 runners in there as well. So this should dramatically improve the speed that we're bringing in shards. All right, I'm going to bring you back when we're ready to buy the gunners. And here we go. Gun vs. Rock already acquired. That was only about a minute and a half from where I dropped in the cut there, just to give you an idea on the kind of speed that we're making. Right, at this point, I want fire arrows on our rifle Gnorps. Let's get them out there. Now, eventually, we're going to want to switch over to ice arrows when we're trying to make sure that we've got the rock frozen for various vulnerability events. But this is going to be marvelous. At this stage, we could even unlock ice arrows over here, and then have the archers use ice arrows and the rifle Gnorps use fire arrows. That would absolutely be an option for us. So we're going to go ahead with that. We're probably going to start generating enormous amounts of damage. The fire is now going to very, very rapidly speed past the amount of damage that any of our other Gnorps are doing, I should imagine. The rock is almost always going to be on fire at this stage. So again, the whole thing about the kind of the anti-synergy between having the fire extinguish faster or burn itself out faster and trying to have the jetpacks, it isn't really a problem as long as you have enough rifle Gnorps to help out. Now, we're almost at the point of a compression event. We're up to 14k as well. We could go ahead and grab break time now if we wanted. That is going to bring the compression event on earlier and also going to dramatically increase the speed, the capacity of our runners that much sooner. I could go, wow, that peak is getting a little bit spicy over there. Let's go ahead and get a second mountaineer out there. You can go and help a little bit. This is glorious. Do I want to grab any? No, we didn't have time to grab any extra drones. However, I could perhaps start investing in those extra drones now. Sure, let's go ahead and get a bunch of drones out there just in case we immediately go into another compression event. I doubt we're going to, but you never know. Right, we were about 4k for the 11th drone before, and it's already 5k for the 7th drone as it stands. Right, let's get the Zibellium Collector out there, and we're going to go for the Balloon Gunner very, very soon. There we go. Let's get the Balloon Gunner as well. Now, the first thing that we're going to do as soon as you get back is, of course, we are going to spend that in the archery range to get normal normal arrows become rockets. And at that point, I can have the rifle Gnorps use regular arrows if I particularly want to. There's no reason not to, if I'm perfectly honest. It's going to take us a little while to get back up to 10 drones, but it's always worthwhile having 10 drones, I feel. We could also invest in our runners right now, but I think holding off to grab a couple of the more Gnorp expensive items like weak spot frequency and the likes is the right way to go. There we go. Got plenty of shards being generated. Very much approve of all of this. We're going quite fast on this one now. In terms of over here, we can get combo chance up a little bit. And honestly, I've been kind of dragging my feet with regards to warm-up jumps. I do apologize, Slammers. Let's get you working efficiently, shall we? There we go. You can notice, though, that the GPL are by far some of the best damage outside of fire. Right, at this point, we've now got rocket arrows. Let's go for it. There we are. And you are now going to use regular arrows, which are themselves rockets, I would imagine. Yep, there we go. Ah, glorious. Absolutely marvelous. Look at those shards going up. Well, you know what? We don't even need that. We'll have our rifle Gnorps continue to be fire equipped, and let's get grenade launcher as well. I could, of course, have gone for a second rifle Gnorp, but I think this one's a better one. We are going to quickly approach our next compression event, so I do need to get in that 10th drone sooner rather than later. I will help out a little bit while I'm here, though. There you go. Let's get all of this through. Mostly I'm doing this just to make sure that we get the multiplier up nice and high. There we are. 10 drones. Perfect. I really, really like this. I love the music in this game. It feels so just remarkably charming. Is it just me? But this game, everything about this game is just comfy. Super comfy, in fact. Right, now I'm going to do something that it might seem a little bit odd. I don't know. I want to go for all of the housing as quickly as we can for one very, very big reason. I want to always maintain 9. And the next Zibellium once you've built enough housing, you can use Zibellium to upgrade your housing so that every 3 houses you get a free house. That, to me, is something that's worth going for quickly. The only problem with it is it also costs like 200k shards, which at our present collection rate of 31k a minute would take us far too long to get to. So we're going to need to work on that. We are making a good amount of shards, to be fair, but we can definitely improve this. Definitely improve this. How about we start improving it by building up capacity there, and then we're going to dump in another 5 runners over here. I think that will be good. Let's go for some more jumps for our slammers, and we're going to get another 5 slammers as well. And on top of that, well, we're definitely going to be going for the 11k housing. That's not going to be a problem at all. Do we want to try and get some more drones in before too long? Maybe we hold off for a little bit until the next compression event, because that housing is going to cost far too much. It's going to be really rough one for us to get to. So let's go for 5 more bombers instead. Do we want maybe another mountaineer? We could do. Sure, let's get another 2 mountaineers. There we go. That'll work quite nicely. And get another rifle Gnorp as well. Okay, there we go. We've got 5 Gnorps in the bank. And we're doing reasonably well, I would say. I could perhaps start looking to invest in the drones a little bit more heavily, but we are right on the edge of a compression event. We are definitely going to get it because our income is drastically higher than our collection. Oh my lord. We just got to have 10 bombers bathed in fire at the same time. Okay, that's something that I haven't seen before. That's marvelous. But I suppose that is only fair considering, we're basically keeping this thing constantly on fire. Now, the downside is that because of this, we're not really getting anything out of the ice. The ice is causing the shatter event, and then the fire is immediately shattering it. So it doesn't do the best amount of damage, but eventually we're going to be able to get that working for us properly, I think. Let's get a little bit more capacity there as well. All right, now we need to replenish our stock of drones, so let's quickly get on that. I would like to try and keep always having 10 available to us. Now, we are going to want a Gnorp. This is going to be extremely important because the amount of rockets the Gnorp is going to generate is going to be obscene. And we very much like obscene amounts of generated damage. I know this is not the norm for my channel. We try to keep things nice and clean here, but we're talking really offensive levels of damage are going to be delivered. For now, though, let's go ahead and actually switch the rifle Gnorps to ice as well. We'll just see how much damage we're able to spew out as a consequence of that shatter. We'll see how this one goes. We want some more drones, though. And do we want more carriers? We don't want more carriers, though. We want to hold off on that for now. The incoming, yeah, we're doing okay for the time being, but it is high time for a Gnorp. Let's get you out there. We also, there we go, additional housing just unlocked. Of course it did. But that's fine, because we want the Gatling to be able to try and get to this, but it's going to take us a while to build up to that kind of housing amount. But once this Gatling gets down here, and they're going to be shooting rockets into this frozen boulder, this is going to generate a lot for us. There we go. Now, the beautiful thing about this, and something that I touched on very briefly at the end of the last episode, the Gatling and the Gatl balloon gunner, they miss a lot when it comes to bullets because it's hard to aim. Look at where they're aiming at this point. But rockets are homing. And you can see that they have already greatly exceeded the damage coming out of the frozen here. Let's go ahead and switch back our regular Gnorps to fire, though, and just see how that all stands up in terms of the incoming damage. We want to get the drones up, though. Try to get up to 10 at least. We also want to get the Geet protocol on the roll as well. Delivery rush would not be a bad one, but let's get the 10th drone first, because that's kind of a timed event, because as you can see, we're already getting up to about 1/3 of the total mass before the next compression event. So we definitely want to make sure that we've got up to our 10th drone. There you go. All right, from this point on, I think we're going to save up for Delivery Rush, and then probably Geek Protocol is the next one on our list. That being said, is there anything else we want to grab around here? I mean, Weak Spot. Weak Spot is a nice one. But I don't think it's worth the Gnorps, frankly. We get Combo Traps up to its maximum, though. That one is definitely worth it for us. But at this point, I think we kind of need to hold on to our Gnorps for now. Right, we are seeing the rock constantly on fire, which is glorious, but I'm feeling that if this was ice, we would see this even higher. We're currently at 192 damage being generated. Let's switch the rifle Gnorps over to ice and just see where that goes. We might even get rid of the super hot as a consequence of that one then. We'll see where we stand with that one. Right, Delivery Rush is going to greatly increase our collection. We're already starting to make progress on the collection, by the way. The white portion of the bar here is the collection speed that is in excess of where we were on the last run. That's the grey portion. So this is not going too badly, but I think we are probably going to be seeing a new compression event in our extremely near future. And that is fine, because that means the Zybellium is going to be available for us to use on additional housing. And our collection is up to about 77k a minute. That's not too bad. But yeah, we are... I would say that the ice is probably causing a lot more damage. Yes, it's about 40-ish. 50,000 more damage than we were getting with just the fire there. And that's fine. We might get rid of fire then, the super hot at the very least, and well, we might keep bathed in fire though. But I think that should be fine for now. Okay, there we go. Got a little bit more housing that needs to come in. At this point, we're now trying to build up the money required for 9 Gnorps so that we can get additional housing. Now, this one's going to take me a little bit of time, so I'm just going to allow the Gnorps to just enjoy themselves for a little bit. I'm possibly going to go and make myself another cup of tea, because my throat's a little dry and my teacup is empty. And these are two things that just don't do when you're a content creator, or when indeed you are a human. You should never have an empty teacup. Unless your teacup is actually called a coffee mug, in which case you should make sure at every possible opportunity that it is empty and kept empty. And no, I don't mean drink what's in there. You should pour it out. Not into your mouth. Down the sink. And welcome back. We managed to get all the money together we needed. In fact, while you were away, I upgraded speed, I upgraded capacity, I got an extra runner because we got our free Gnorp after the minute. We've upgraded Tetra Thrusters, I've purchased 10 drones, and there was one other thing I did. We increased the digging width of the Mountaineer up to maximum. At present, we're collecting 158k a minute and doing about 200k damage a minute because I switched our rifle Gnorps down to fire because I didn't want us to go through a compression event while you were away. But finally, all that together, we can now buy additional housing. Now, my advice with additional housing is get it as soon as it is feasible for you to get it. Don't wait, because every other house starts costing more and more and more. The next house costs 135k. Let's grab this, and we are suddenly going to have a good many houses added in. As you can see, from all of the Gnorp deliveries, we're up to 15, 17 extra. We're going to be going for a little while. There we go. And it's going to keep going for a bit. I actually think it triggers on the free houses as well. So this becomes kind of bonkers. We're up to a staggering amount of Gnorps now. Given that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab Geek Protocol, and then we're going to sink a good healthy amount of our manpower into getting extra runners there. The next thing we're going to do, to make our Mountaineers realistically viable here, we're going to continue. Each one of these doubles the dig amount of the Mountaineers. Let's see how fast they go down. That's a reasonable amount at this point. I don't think we need to worry over much about it at this stage. I'm going to go up to 5 Mountaineers, though, and we're going to leave that there. Right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to get another Rifle Gnorp. Now, they cost a very large amount of money to get, but it's worth it. Let's go up to 4. We're going to switch over to Ice Arrows. And at this stage, we are now ready. We are bringing in a staggering amount of materials. We want to go for the YX-1AB rocket, which is not going to take us very long to get. Basically, we collect that much a minute now, so that is not going to be a problem for us to get to. Though the next drone is 277k. We've only got 10 so far. That really does scale up. I mean, this is what you get from incremental games. Numbers go big in both the good way and the bad way. They go big faster in the bad way, because life. Oh, we'll help out a tiny amount over there as well. There we go. Right, there we go. Ice is generating a very large amount of damage, which is beautiful to behold. We are probably going to be on our way to a compression event in a little bit, though I have dramatically increased the ability of our runners to bring in items. But let's go ahead and get the rockets set up. This is going to be a humongous improvement for us. Let's get all of those down here. And at this point, with 30 runners with Geet, I would not be at all surprised to see this starting to happen quickly. We're already at 1 prestige, my lord. And as you can see, although the packets look small, they are compressed packets, so they represent quite a lot of material being geeted over here. But we want to increase this number a lot. So we're looking probably at about 2 minutes to... Oh, well, actually, no, only an extra minute from now to get that going. But we've got 10 Gnorps right now, and they're unhappy at not being utilized effectively. I completely get that. Let's go, then, given that, let's go for an Ultra Boost. There you go. Now, our bombers don't really represent a significant amount of the damage that we're outputting, but oh, there we go. There's some of our rockets. Marvelous, and there they go, all coming down at the same time, and pomp. And then ice is almost doing as much as the rockets. That's kind of bonkers. We're up to 400,000 every minute. That's absolutely marvelous. We're not far off getting the Geet protocol. Of course, I did spend a little bit there, but you've got to spend money to make money, you know. Right. On that note, maybe I should also invest in the warm-ups. I know, I'm just buying things because they're available, not because they're the right thing to buy. But this is what happens when the rockets are in their holding pattern. They're waiting until this timer goes up. Every 20 seconds, they all hit at once. So that's going to dramatically increase the probability of this being frozen at the time that the rockets come down. Sometimes that's not going to be the case, sometimes it will, but when it is the case, all of the rockets are going to land on it at the right time, which is going to be absolutely marvelous. Right, is there anything else we really want to go? We could get weak spot. No. No, I don't think we're going to go for weak spot. We're going to hold off on that one. Again, we do really want to get that increased Geet protocol. The rockets are climbing very nicely. We do need to increase the amount of collection we're doing, though, because that's what's going to start holding us back very, very soon. To that end, we might want to invest another 5 in this. I'm not sure about that one. No, we need the other 3 for the Geet protocol. We obviously need to hold on to that for now. Once we get the star, though, we'll probably invest in vulnerability, and from that point onwards, we're just looking at investing purely in collection. We've already got enough damage output at this point. We don't need more. My lord, look at it, how tall this peak is. It's glorious in every possible way. Down here, though, we are actually starting to see the compression event. You know, it's creeping up there. We're at 8.2 multiplier right now. I guess I could spend these Gnorps. How many do we need to reserve? We need to reserve 3. So in that case, we're going to go get more. Oh, actually, might this be more worthwhile for me to invest in more Mountaineers then? I think it might. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get some more Mountaineers up on the mountaintop and thus increase the carrying capacity of my runners. That may well help out in a big way. Let's have a look. We are creeping up there, but of course we're increasing dramatically our collection rate. And as you can see over here, the rock itself is doing a lot of work at trying to resist us gathering shards. So it's taking back a lot of the shards that are being generated. Let's see if the rockets get back in time. Ah, they arrived just a moment too late, but that's fine. It's going to be the way here and there. We'll just have to keep focusing on it for now. All right, what's the next Geet upgrade? It's going to require 4 people. That is asking an awful lot of us, frankly. An awful lot of us. But, you know, it's not outside the realms of possibility. Let's have a gander. It's now costing us 300,000 to get each house, which is rather a large amount of money, I must say. It's not what I would like to see. We're going to invest more, because the house is going up. We're going to get 10 mountaineers up on the peaks. That is going to dramatically increase the speed of our carriers at that point, of our runners. In terms of... and that will also affect the Geet, because they'll fill their inventory before they Geet. So at this point, as you can see, the rockets are going off quite frequently. And that is just going to continue to increase. To the point that it is worth it for us to start looking at increasing the capacity over here. It looks like we also got a free housing somewhere along the lines. Very appreciative of that. There we are. Let's get... Honestly, everything is about the runners at this point, unless it's a rifle Gnorp. Rifle Gnorps are still useful, and depending on if we had time shift impact, the Gnorp propulsion lab would also still be quite useful. 8 mountaineers. When bombers get pocket rockets sent to their rocket pockets, they have a 5% chance to also send one to every active mountaineer. If you've got a lot of active mountaineers, even a single bomber can potentially output enormous, shocking amounts of damage. I keep saying shocking, my lord. I should stop saying shocking. It would be a shock if I could stop saying shocking. Alright, there we go. It's going to be a little ways to see if we can get up to the 2. Obviously, if we can get up to 2 prestige in this run, then that unlocks the next area for us, which I would very much like to do, but we'll see. We've got a lot of damage potential right now, and we've got lots more that we can get to as well. We'll have to see, though, if we can continue to develop that in the right direction. Let's... do we want to save up for this? 1 million. That being said, we're halfway there. The first thing we want to do, though, is get vulnerability. That is going to dramatically increase the output of our damage output. Because we've got a lot of rockets here, and I do believe that these rockets also count. Yes, they do, as you can see. They are constantly going to be applying vulnerability. Oh my goodness, that is going to be wild. Alright, I think we have got a very good chance of getting up to the amount that we need. I take it back. I was a little bit concerned, but considering how frequently we're going to be activating vulnerability whilst this is frozen, yeah, that is going to be massive. Okay, let's keep everything currently on ice then. It makes the most sense. Unfortunately, you were not vulnerable when... Yeah, the vulnerability happened outside of the freeze. The freeze has got to be there before vulnerability occurs for that to work. But look at how much we're bringing in now. There we go. This is where things really start to spiral. At the moment, vulnerability is by far doing the most damage, and it is wildly outperforming the rockets themselves, the ice, the additional rockets. This is not going too badly. Alright, now, if we can make sure this is frozen when both the Gatling are... Oh, there we go. The vulnerability happened at the right time. Perfect. That is 1.3 million shards worth of damage in the last minute. We are so hopelessly far away from matching that in terms of our collection. It's honestly quite funny. Right, but we're going to have to pass a little bit more time, though. I want to see us get up to the next Geet protocol, at the very least, before we proceed. But I want to have 10 drones between every compression wave. So we're going to be getting up to another 10 drones before then as well. And all of these things, unfortunately, require large amounts of investment. How much does it cost? It costs $500,000 per house right now. Wow. 1.5 million in the blink of an eye. Let's invest most of that in the Geet protocol and then some more in carrying capacity. There we go. We've also got another Gnorp that I can apply. We're up to actually bringing in almost 750,000 right now, which is kind of amazing. In terms of our damage output, I don't think we need to increase that right now. What we need to focus on is increasing our collection. And that means that, that next house is either going to be runners or mountaineers. And I'm thinking runners at this point. Let's get up to a nice round number, and then we can start looking at other things. So we'll take runners all the way up to 5. We're up to a 9 multiplier on damage. We are almost there for our prestige, which is absolutely glorious. It's going to cost 2.9 million for the next Geek Protocol and 5 runners as well. But every runner increases the speed. Look at how much we're geeting. If we look over here, wow, you've gone from your leisurely, I'm just going to sit on the roof and probably have a deck chair, some music, samosa, a little parasol. And occasionally I have to hit the button too. I'm not allowed to get off the button now because it's just going to be that soon before I need to press it again. You're still not having to do a crazy workout, but we can get up there. We will make this happen, my dude. Don't you doubt. Right, let's also get another one down here, another runner. Do we need more mountaineers at this point? Yes, we do. We want the entire peak to be covered in mountaineers. There we go. Let's get that mountaineer up, then we'll go for another one as well. And as soon as they're ready, there we go. Do we want more than that? Yeah, we still do. So let's go for 13 mountaineers. It will go all the way up to 15. That will provide a very hefty increase to the speed at which our runners are gathering as well. There we are. But the rest, we obviously want to start getting onto the runners a little bit more now. But look at the amount of rockets that we're generating. This is wild. It's glorious. Of course, if you can save up to get more damage, damage is not our problem though. We're doing 2.14 million a minute. We're only collecting 1 million a minute. There we are, our prestige level 2. Perfect, we made it. That's all we were waiting for. And looking at the time, that's actually a good time for it as well. Okay, so we're going to prestige right away. Again, prestige early and often. Unless you know that you're going to be able to get up to the next prestige in a reasonable time, just go ahead and hit that button. Each time you do, the early game becomes that much faster. Womp. Wow. Like, what do we do now? We've lost our jobs. It's okay, it's okay. At least I fired you after Christmas. My lord. Right. Okay, so, starting again, of course. And this time we've got 11 points to spend. Let's have a look on how we want to spend them. Now, Zybellium Mastery. Your knowledge of Zybellium deepens. You start with 1 loose Zybellium. Spending Zybellium constructs 1 house. Zybellium can now be coaxed to come closer by clicking the bulb on the top of the rock analysis lab. We've got these new unlocks. The Rocket Gatler. Prepare for fireworks. Gatling bullets now have a 10% chance to spawn a Y rocket. So, our rocket arrow Gatler bullets can now also make the rockets that come out of our rocket silo rockets. Of course we're going to take that. Why wouldn't we? We've also got reclamation mitigation, a way to reduce the impact of reclamation. When reclaiming, the rock now prefers to pick shards closer to it, rather than random ones with a bias towards shards at the top of the pile. This doesn't sound like it would be helpful, but it actually genuinely is, since it tends to focus all of the reclamation the furthest away from your runners. If the highest part of the pile is all the way over here, then the rock would be grabbing from over there, which means eventually your runners are having to run all the way over here for scraps. This removes the scraps from the furthest away point, so it just increases the efficiency of your runners. Not by a lot, but it is something that can help push you over a line if you're finding that you keep getting slowed at a certain point. Deals. 2 for the price of 1. 3 Gnorps whenever an arrow is shot. Another arrow is also shot. You get 3 Gnorps when you purchase new arrow types. Of course we're going for that one. But now we have the question of fire deals 2.5 times damage. Fire damage occurs 6 times faster. We've also got popcorn. Fire damage has a range of 8 to 9, up from 0 to 3. Does this really matter? Doesn't really, actually. We could get rid of either of these in exchange for some of these. Infinite reverberation, the ground trembles, shockwaves no longer diminish based on distance travel. This requires the garden. We haven't even played with that at all. Perhaps we're going to do that in the next episode. And then Frostfire, Game of Thrones reference. Allows ice and fire statuses to coexist. Shatter now inherits the range of fire when fire is active, and directors are not repelled by Frostfire. This is an important one. Now, do we really care for the damage increase from fire? I'm not sure we do. I do want the extra fire damage, though. That seems like it will be perfect if we combine it with the shatter effect of ice. So we can now have it frozen and on fire at the same time. With that, I think that's perfect. I do want to add that back in because having that range was nice, but it's not as important as all of the other builds we've got here. But that is going to be it for this episode. I really do hope you've enjoyed. And look at that. We've got a little bit of Zybellium right from the beginning. Of course, we're going to click the rock, fill this area up, and get to work. But that is going to have to wait for the next episode. I really do hope you've enjoyed this one and will be joining me for the next. Do let me know what you think of the build so far. And if you have picked up the game yourself, let me know in the comments down below how your game is going or any particularly powerful synergies you've discovered, or for that matter, any particularly bad synergies you've discovered. Either way, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next. But until then, do take care, everyone.